One of life's many mysteries, the age of the anti-hero, I suspect.
The Lost Boys had a year-long feud with TNT that in various points, including the final points, involved the Wildside Tag Team Championship. At the culmination of that feud, in the main event of the Wildside 3-year anniversary show, it was Future Shock that stuck their nose in the business of the Lost Boys, costing them perhaps their final title shot for some time in a long time.
And it's all these unresolved issues that continue on unabated this week on Wildside. I mean, the Future Shock were actually incremental, as well as the team of TNT, in taking out the leg of Gabriel. I'm taking out the neck of Gabriel and the leg of Azrael. These are two wounded men. And apparently, I think Andrew Thomas is a little bit concerned over their welfare, which is a first in my book.
Well, I think he's just trying to get the legal man in the ring, which is something he's had a problem with involving the Lost Boys on many, many occasions. Jay Free is going to be starting this tag team matchup out against Azrael. And if you're a fan of traditionalistic wrestling, then you might as well turn the channel, because this match is going to be anything but traditional. Shoulder tackle, down goes Jay Freeze, up and over goes Azrael, leapfrog by Freeze, Azrael behind him, boot to the midsection, Irish whip, forearm shot and hard by the Angel of Death. Freeze comes in with a vicious forearm shot of his own. Azrael trades another. Freeze with a chop and another chop. Chop exchanges by both men.
Completely breaking down here at the NWA Arena. Azrael and Jay Freeze. Not exactly exchanging words of love at the moment.
Good grief! It is getting ugly, fans. It is getting ugly. Spear by Azrael, and they're tangling it up. They are tangling it up. Andrew Thomas can't separate these men. These two are beating the hell out of each other, and the Lost Boys have a perfect issue for that beating. They cost Future Shock, that is, cost the Lost Boys their Wildside Tag Team titles against TNT, and perhaps the last title shot they're going to get in a long time. Kicked in the face punch by Gabriel. Another kick in the face by Azrael. Springboard leg lariat while making the tag to Gabriel. Gabriel cooks the leg. 2 count only.
This is the textbook definition of grudge match. The hostility between these two tag teams is just getting completely out of control. Something may be resolved here tonight, but I wouldn't count on it.
Top wrist lock by Gabriel. However, a handful of hair changes the tide of that maneuver. Irish whip to the far corner, reversal. Gabriel up and over, scales the top rope, lands on his feet. Jay Freeze ducks. Freeze lands on the apron. Azrael goes for a swing. Gabriel goes for another swing. Freeze ducks. Super kick sending Jay Freeze into the guardrail.
Face first into the guardrail.
And the Archangel is going to fly. Slingshot tope con hilo to the outside. Straight to hell.
That's precisely where Jay Freeze feels like he is at the moment. A flying Gabriel. Head first into the prone body of Jay Freeze.
And the Angel of Death in his size. Gonna try to fly to the outside as well. Brandon P cuts him off. Azrael coming off the ropes. It's Brandon P up and over. Brandon P gets enough mind about himself to catch himself on the apron here. And now, Gabriel with a knee, or Azrael with a knee to the face. The Angel of Death coming off. Springboard clothesline by Brandon P. Jay Freeze and Gabriel brawling on the outside. Irish whip into the guardrail, and Gabriel bounces off of it like a ball off a wall.
Future Shock and Lost Boys mixing it up in no uncertain terms here this week as your main event this week on NWA Wildside. Thank you for joining us. Dan the Dragon Wilson along with Stephen Prazak just explaining and trying to make heads or tails out of this, the violence you're witnessing at this very moment.
Jay Freeze choking out Azrael in the corner. Andrew Thomas laying the mandatory 5 count. Big chop. Trying to channel the spirits of fellow North Carolina native. We all know who that is.
Jesse Helms?
That's it. Elbow by Jay Freeze. Lateral press. Arrogant and nonchalant cover, mind you. Jay Freeze did not bother to hook the leg. And when dealing with a competitor with the fiery nature of the Angel of Death Azrael, hooking the leg is probably a good idea.
One would think. But obviously when you're Future Shock, you've got a lot of physical damage, a lot of GBH in mind for the team of the Lost Boys. Winning a match would be nice, but frankly, it's secondary.
We can't talk about GHB on the air.
How about GBH?
Okay.
Okay. GHB? Oh, I get it. Man, I'm thick.
See, that one took you a while. Brandon P. assaulting, continuing the assault on Azrael. Big drop kick, right on the money. And Azrael's in a lot of pain right now. But
Yep.
Future Shock have made no bones about it. They're tired of being disrespected, and whether or not they were disrespected, you're walking a thin line on that issue.
Well, frankly, it can be perceived as disrespect. So, I mean, the locker room at Wildside is cutthroat. It is the most competitive locker room in North America today.
Look at Azrael firing back on Jay Freeze. Jay Freeze with a rake of the eye. And as you know, that'll stop any man. Stomp to the head.
Jay Freeze trying to pull out what's the hair of Azrael, the Angel of Death.
Tag into Brandon P. Not Brandon K.
Thank you. I've never heard enough of that.
Irish whip. Blocks the hip toss. Chopped by Azrael. Going for a backslide, but Brandon P fighting that. Turns it into an Irish whip. Blind tag by Grabriel. Kick to the midsection. Lost Boys double teaming. And there's the time warp on Brandon P.
No idea what era Brandon P is in at the moment after a time warp. Jay Freeze in to break up the pin attempt. And Jay Freeze turns his back on Grabriel. Bad move.
And another rake to the eye by Brandon P. Future Shock resorting to these tactics time and time again. They made it clear they don't care about the rules. And neither do the Lost Boys for that matter. Big knee lift and crisp and beautiful execution, mind you. Personally, I'm not a big fan of Jay Freeze, but as a wrestler, you cannot deny his ability.
The guy's got the goods, and literally he shows it week in and week out. He's just a head case. And Brandon P not too far behind. Choking the life out of Grabriel. Top turnbuckle.
While aggressive, Future Shock are taking a methodical assault on this offense here on the Lost Boys.
What's precisely what they should be doing, because nothing that the Lost Boys do is especially methodical. You're taking them away from their own game. If you're going to be resorting to a little bit more aerial tactics and more violent tactics, well, that's right up the Lost Boys' alley. Go to Plan C, and that's precisely what Future Shock are doing here this week.
Azrael trying to get in the ring to save his partner from the hands of this horrific beating that Future Shock is giving him. High leg lariat by Brandon P.
And Azrael reaching out for a tag, unfortunately in the wrong corner. The tagging hands of Azrael, oh so far away.
Tag made into Jay Freeze. Rolling slingshot senton leg drop combination by Future Shock. Again, the arrogance is going to get the best of these guys if they don't pull their heads out of their asses and concentrate on the match. The Lost Boys are not a team to be dealing with in that manner. And it's continually frustrating to see Future Shock do this.
Well, look at their track record. Future Shock have never had a better success rate in their entire career as they've had over the past few months here at Wildside.
And we cannot forget about the team that wants at Future Shock more than anybody, Scotty Wren and Tank. Future Shock, they defeated Scotty Wren and Tank on 2 straight occasions, albeit by fluke victories. A win over those two is a win over those two. And Scotty Wren and Tank are not happy, especially about the cheap nature that those victories came about.
And precisely the 2 guys you don't want mad at you, 2 guys you don't want on your case. Oh, God. Brandon P and now Grabriel. Oh, dear, mixing it up. Boy, Brandon P is just uncorking some major haymakers on the face and the chest of Grabriel.
Leg drop by Jay Freeze. 2 count only. Grabriel still has it in him to kick out. And again, I have to question the cocky tactics of Future Shock. Had Jay Freeze hit the leg, would have Grabriel been able to kick out? We'll never know.
It's all conjecture. And interestingly, Future Shock are going after the neck on occasion of Grabriel. That was the part of the body that Grabriel has had to deal with the most amount of injury in the past few months. It is a very sensitive neck indeed.
Up and over goes Brandon P. He catches Grabriel. Oh, good grief. Head and arm suplex.
And Grabriel very nearly landed on his own head in the process. Grabriel, once again, much to the amazement of the fans here at the NWA Arena, totally perplexed at the firepower and the resilience of one Grabriel, one half of the Lost Boys.
Big clothesline by Brandon P. Brandon P tries to drop kick Azrael off the apron. But that just lit the fire of the Angel of Death.
Like there isn't enough fire there in the first place?
I suppose it further ignited it.
There we go. The fires of hell is what it is. I'm sorry, that's your line. Fires are hell. How'd I do?
Don't quit your day job.
Thank you.
Grabriel hooked the leg, almost got a pinfall there, but Jay Freeze stopped that and quickly with a clothesline.
Thunderous kick from Azrael. Oh my.
I cannot possibly describe to you, the viewers at home, how hard he just kicked that man.
It happened so quickly, I'm not even sure what part of the body he hit. Was it the head? Lightning fast. But can Grabriel make that tag? He's only a few feet away from the tagging hands of the Angel of Death. Tag is made. Once again, referee Andrew Thomas did not see the tag being made. It's an old trick. And Future Shock know those tricks very well.
And with the previous tactics of Future Shock, they probably know the old slip Andrew Thomas at 20 and he'll turn his back trick.
All it takes is a 20. Brandon P attempting a pin attempt on Grabriel. Once again, Grabriel gets a right shoulder up. Grabriel is one durable cookie, I'll tell you.
Grabriel fighting back, but just not enough left in him. And he had better get to the corner to tag Azrael if he has any hope of winning this matchup.
But that's the last thing Future Shock won. They're keeping Grabriel far away from his own tag team corner.
I have to say I'm very impressed with the tag team methods of Future Shock. While not within the boundaries of the rules, they're effective, cutting the ring in half. Shades of the Anderson brother. Just consummate and dominant tag team wrestling. They've incapacitated Grabriel to a level in which he's never been incapacitated before.
Jay Freeze heading up to the top turnbuckle, going up there very slowly. Beautiful moonsault. Pity there was no one there to meet him on the way down.
One moonsault is not a standard maneuver in the offensive barrage of Jay Freeze.
It sure isn't anymore.
And Grabriel takes out the knee in the process, and he is very close to tagging in a poppin' hot, very fresh Angel of Death known as Azrael.
And Azrael very slowly making his way over.
He's inches, Grabriel's inches, and he makes the tag. The Angel of Death is swooping down upon his prey. He's got him. He's got it. Death Valley Driver into a powerbomb by Azrael.
And Jay Freeze and Azrael mix it up. Oh, thunderous kick to the knee. Oy!
To the back of the head, and another consecutive kick to the back of the head. And if that did not jar the cerebral cortex loose of Jay Freeze, I would be a surprised individual.
Wonder if there's some pro football teams who are looking at Azrael put one through the goalpost.
It looked like the Lost Boys. Now on the attack of Jay Freeze here. Going for the time warp once again. Going for the head sandwich. But wait a minute. Bring the people the rope down. And Future Shock with a double team maneuver there. But Grabriel manages to kick out. Somehow, this young man found it within him. Maybe it was from the fires of hell. Maybe from his own heart. but it kicked out.
Gabriel showing what kind of stuff he's made out of. And a foot to the face of a charging Brandon P.
Jay Freeze has it. And oh no, this is the setup, the prelude to Future Shock's double team finishing maneuver, the aftershock. Gabriel manages to scale himself up, and Azrael crunches Jay Freeze. Brandon P has no idea what's going on.
He does now.
He certainly does.
Unfortunately, this hold can only stick with it for a 5 count before it must be broken, although rules are not particularly high and the priorities of either the Lost Boys or Future Shock at this moment.
Azrael on the top rope, Gabriel throwing punches that simply lack authority because he's taken so much of a beating. They were going for the unholy roller. Azrael sit off the top by Jay Freeze. And wait a minute, now Brandon P's got Gabriel. Baseball slide to the face.
Last time it worked.
There's the aftershock from the top rope. And Future Shock win this one. Tremendous matchup. Ladies and gentlemen, your winners, Brandon P and Jay Freeze. Future